Hi, this is Leonard from Cosmic Sound and welcome to a DJ department presentation. Today we're going to talk a bit about digital DJing, and we know there are lots of options on the market for this, but we're going to focus today on Serato Itch. Now Serato are a company that have been around for quite a while now, and they make one of the best DJ softwares on the market, Scratch Live, and Itch is a different version of the software which is used for MIDI controllers. And it basically comes bundled with hardware when you buy it. It's no use to you if you don't own the hardware that it's supported by, but if you own either a Vestax VCI 300, Pioneer DDJ S1, an Allen & Heath Zone DX, a Newmark V6, V7 or NS7, then this is certainly something you'll be familiar with. And if you're looking at getting one of these products, then it's probably a good idea to get familiar with the software anyway. It is free software, anyone can download it, but it only becomes fully functional once you plug in supported hardware. So this program's been around for a little while now, and it was quite basic to begin with, but it's come out with some really good improvements for the second version, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So I'm just going to take you through some of the features of the software, tell you a bit about what it does, and show you how this might be a good DJ package for you. So let's take a look at the software now. So first thing you'll notice are some buttons along the top here. These two here are particularly important. What we've got here is a new couple of modes called night and day. So right now we're in the night mode. If you're a user of Scratch Live, it'll look kind of familiar. The color scheme is pretty much the same. So this is the mode you'd use if you're in a nightclub. It gives you higher contrast. And there's this second mode here which is new called day mode. When you click this, everything brightens up quite a lot, and this is particularly useful if you're playing outdoors. Just means you'll be able to see your screen a little bit better. We're going to put it back into night mode. Let's just have a talk about these four up here. So what we've got are four different views. So the first one here is quite compact. If you're on a very small screen, this would be good for you, so you get a larger browser. Second one is the one we started on. We've just got two small windows at the top showing your track information, and then we've got the large waveforms here. So you use these when you're trying to line up your tracks when you beat mix, or just to see what's coming up. The third mode basically just expands out the smaller windows at the top, and then the waveforms move down the side. Just gives you a little bit more a better view of what's going on here. And then the fourth view is a stackable view. So the tracks are actually sitting on top of each other, and this one's pretty good if you're actually using it in 4-deck mode, if you happen to have a Zone DX or other hardware that can support 4 decks. So I'm going to jump back to the mode I was originally in. One thing just to mention is this little thing here. Now this is really good for beat matching. You'll notice if I start a track playing, we've got these markers here, and if I get the other one playing, and I sync them, you'll notice that the markers line up. So same thing, if I drag one out of time, you'll see that happens as well, and it's therefore easy to get them back into time by doing the same thing. So the next thing here, effects. Now Itch had effects before, so this is not terribly revolutionary. We do have though some improvements to the sampler. This is pretty awesome. This came from Scratch Live, and what you can do is load any sample in here. You can actually load entire tracks. You can play them back in different modes. So let's just get a track playing, and I'm just going to drop in a sample over the top. So this is just a crackling sound at the moment. You could make this a white noise sweep. So you've got a volume control here to adjust it if it gets too loud. And it's got independent pitch control here if you want to actually change the pitch of the sound. So you can play it through slower or faster. You've also got a reloop option here. When that gets to the end, it'll start playing the sample again. So, and you've got different playback modes as well. So this one will play straight through, whereas this one here is a momentary, so as soon as I let go, it will stop playing. So you can customize this to use it however you want. You may want to actually add other whole tracks in there as well. Just gives you some options to add some other sounds to a plain 2-deck mix. So the other thing you'll notice at the very bottom here are a few buttons to change your browser. This is just your standard view, just displays as a list. We've got this one here, which is just a broader view, so just a little bit easier to read, but you don't get as many on the screen. This one here is kind of like looking at record covers. So if you're more familiar with choosing by picture, this one's pretty good. And the final one's just a variation. You'll see the album art's slightly larger and it's arranged slightly differently. So I'm going to go back to my main view. Let's finally have a look at the browser. There are lots of different ways to actually import tracks. You can do it through file management like this. There's a browser. But what I like to do is just to open up another window with my tracks and drag them into my browser, which is what I've done here. I'm just going to show you quickly just how to set up a couple of crates. There are manual ways of doing this, so if you wanted to manually create a crate, you could do this. You could name it whatever you want. Say if I was making a crate for my techno tracks, and then if I go back to this and sort by genre, I could find all the tracks in that genre and select them and then drag them into this crate. So that's one way of doing it, is if you to do it all manually, or you can arrange them however you want. The other thing is they have this thing called a smart crate, and this basically works on a set of rules. So what you do is you create a crate and then you add a rule. So I could say I'm looking for genre and it contains the word techno. And what this will do is automatically grab all the tracks with the word techno in the genre and put them in a crate, and then I'd rename that techno. And this will actually update as well as you import more tracks into your library, so it can make your life a little bit easier when you're trying to structure your collection. And the final thing we'll just have a look at is the history. There's some interesting improvements that have been made here. So when you go into history, it'll show what you've played, and what you can do here is actually export it. So when you click export, you'll get this message that says that you're about to submit your playlist online. So if you're a club DJ or radio DJ and you want to submit your track lists online so people can see what you're playing, you can definitely do that. You can also do it live, which is a really great option, especially again if you're a radio DJ, so people can see what you're playing as you play it. And this will be posted to the Serato website. So one more thing that Serato have integrated with their Itch software now is a beat gridding system. It's actually pretty good, it works very well. So as you can see on the screen, there are these little markers here which show you the beat grid. You can edit it by going into edit grid and move things around there, or if you have a controller, you can control most of it from there. So you'll see I can either move the grid by holding down shift and turning this knob here, or I can grow or shrink it using the platter with the shift key held down. This enables you to play using sync mode. You'll find at the top of each deck, very simple, a sync button. So in off mode, you'll have to manually beat match. When you have it turned on, you'll be able to just load tracks and play them and everything will stay in time. So we've been looking at the all new Serato Itch 2 software. As I mentioned before, it's only for particular hardware, so if you own any of the bits of hardware that use it, you'll already be familiar with this software. If you're looking at purchasing any of that hardware by either Allen & Heath, Newmark, Vestax or Pioneer, then you probably want to check out the software first anyway to make sure it's for you. So it's not an overly complicated piece of software, but all the important things are there. You can customize your screen, you can play back tracks, you can now beat grid your tracks, you have effects and sampling. So it's all there for you. If you're using any of the hardware that's relevant, it's obviously a great accompaniment to that hardware. For any more information or for a further demo, please come and see us at Kosmic Sound. These products are in stock either at our Osborne Park or Cannington stores, or you can purchase them online at kosmic.com.au. Thanks a lot for watching.